Hey guys, bizarre time getting this thing up and running. Part of why I'm so late. Part of it was my own fault. I was running a little late to begin with, but oh boy, it wasn't gonna be this late. Yeah, YouTube got stuck on, like, preparing stream. And as I'm, like, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, I refreshed, I tried to get a new, like, stream encoder key thing. Nothing was working. And then, as I was facing down the barrel of possibly having to do a full, like, restart of everything, I closed the game, and then YouTube's like, oh, okay, you're ready to stream, and I'm like, hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Were you pitching a fit because I had a game open or something? What the hell? Anyhow, hi, I'm back. I had a week off, had to go do some stuff, so, yeah. I am returned now, and I am returned into so many games having so many updates and full releases and stuff like that. I have been lost in Fields of Mystria for the majority of this last roughly week after I got back, because that 1.0 update came out, and so I have been running around doing everything in that. I've played a little bit of Mirthwood, since, off stream, but not nearly as much. It's mostly been Fields of Mystria. I've found out that Traveler's Rest has had a major update, a major story update, so I'm gonna be doing that probably a bit of next week, maybe the week after, depending on how much there is. They've released Magic, the magic system in the game, as well as our next opponents. For the quest line. So, I'm gonna be getting into that, but right now, I figured I'd just ease into things, take things a little easy. We're gonna play Nine Kings. Now, Nine Kings has also had some very major updates. Mainly in a couple of Kings, Progress and Blood. Also, coming in 1.0, Joker! That's gonna be interesting. Anyway, Blood and Progress have had a couple of card overhauls and synergy overhauls. They've tweaked some things in other Kings as well. I believe that King of Stone, like the Wall Maker, the walls get better the longer you have them. Sorely needed. The walls very quickly got outpaced and outclassed by enemies in runs, at least that I found. However, right now, I'm just kind of wanting to poke at King of Progress, King of Blood. This one, we now have, instead of the accuracy buff, we have Recycler, which is every time you throw a card into the pit, adjacent plots get plus 2% damage and HP. So it's a good perk for, especially once you've broken a concabulator and you've gotten rid of it and you have the card, or you use something that puts the cards back in your hand, you can just throw those in the pit. If you have a recycler down, that could be very nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of a shot. I'm just going to do a single run in each. I'm not going into endless mode for either of them, and given that I am putting it on the highest difficulty that I have yet to win in each of these Kings, this might not be a full run in any case, so we could be just doing a shorter stream. That's fine. Oh, I forgot to share, but they did something new with the perks, where you have now 3 saved loadouts on each King for perks. So you don't have to reshuffle if you want to try for a different perk set. Also, I've got perks that give me way more treasure chests, so I'm going to be picking, and one that gives me a ton of concabulators, so I'm going to be picking a bunch of those up. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and throw a recycler down in the center here, because that's going to be useful. Let's go ahead and put an executor there. And quite frankly, I'm just going to go ahead and throw 2 concabulators, and we're going to be able to get things leveled up pretty quickly. Excellent. I don't need another concabulator, but I could go ahead and give him a reinforce. Ooh, I could upgrade this recycler, actually. Let's go ahead and upgrade the recycler. Once the concabulator gets in, that'll be max level. No, wait, I think I might have the perk. I really should have checked my perks. I think I might have put one on this loadout that gives me extra levels on everything. I might double check that. Trebuchet is probably pretty good in this because I'm planning on getting some constructions going. Prosperity, 30 gold or less by the year of... Okay, so I've got to be spending gold apparently. Let's go ahead and slap a trebuchet down. Right there. Why not? I want to throw constructions down. Okay, speaking of constructions. Ooh, I could just go procreate. That'd be fun. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I actually want to go ahead and throw a concabulator down, I think. Let's get everything leveled up once. Yeah, they've smoothed things out generally, apparently, so, Ooh, Rambo! Now shoot +1 enemy at once. Let's, we've got executioners. Why not? Otherwise, every plot with troops now gains +1 unit every year. Ooh, I've got one plot with troops, but that could be good. Or increase damage of all units and towers by 50%. Honestly, executioners specifically shooting +1 enemy at once is a 100% increase. But this is all of them. They're all pretty good. I'm just gonna go with the one that's specific to this, because why not? Why not? Let's just go ahead and see what we can do with this. Alright, we're gonna clone. Now, the thing is, this will level up 2 random plots, so that will get rid of that. However, it's not going to give me the thing that I wanted for the recycler, which is throw something into the pit. So I'm gonna clone that, get a broken concabulator to throw into the pit, which is all well and good. I'm gonna go ahead and overhaul that, because why not? Why not? Oh, I probably should just bring my little mobile thing over and take care of the bad guys in the back. Walls early on, probably useful. Okay. Hold on. Now, this is going to get me damage and HP. Walls are all about HP, which is pretty good, so I might put that way back here. So that's fine. I'm going to concabulator there, which means I could use one more thing that's going to get damage and HP right there. Is there something that is useful? Damage buffs also increase its HP. I'm going to put a pallet in there. It's going to be hilarious. Alright. So now all I need is to just get a surplus of cards that I can throw away. Like that. Yep. All the numbers go up. All the numbers. Apparently they did some work on how battles, how troops work in battle, how they are laid out at the start, how they kind of spread out to attack. They've tried to make it so that they do actually spread outwards. And they don't necessarily just bunch up together. Okay, what do we want to deal with? Why not blood? Just to see if we can get one of those new cards. So, blood has gotten rid of vampirism. There was a hint in the little dev notes that they'd like to revisit the idea of vampires in a different way in the future. I am not prepared for that. Anyway, they want to revisit the vampire concept in the future, but they felt like a card that's about healing in a death focused or a death themed I guess build set didn't quite fit. I failed prosperity. Oh well. So they're going to go a different direction with that. I definitely want to do a run of King of Blood with this, because also they changed how the pagodas work. Looks like we are projecting when we see the rainbow battles. Okay, I've got an expansion coming up. If I slap a lab rat down, say there, then if I keep using concabulators in this space, the lab rats should level up with them. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest thing, but... yeah, I think that with the recycler, the greatest boon you can get is the one that basically lets you, it gives you 2 cards instead of letting you pick one from 3. Because then you have a surplus of cards, and then you might be throwing cards away a lot more. Like, Earthworks could probably be fairly useful. I do not have any active lab rats. Okay, I like this much better as a rebirth. They must have changed this. Rebirth used to be that it renewed all of your lost lives. However, if you were early game like I am right now and you hadn't lost any lives yet, it was kind of worthless. However, that's now 6 lives instead of I like that much better. That's pretty good. Alright, let's do this thing. So we could be seeing a King of Blood. We might be losing to them, to be fair. We've got now just a wall in the way. Okay, no, we made it. It's getting a little bad. Okay, this is the new King of Blood card that replaces Vampirism. It's Oblation. When thrown into the pit, all troops get +2 units. Effect increases with each use. So there is a benefit to throwing this card specifically into the pit. That is the purpose of it. And then Cemetery now summons skeletons instead of ghosts. So I could throw the Cemetery down in front of the Paladins, but the idea of Paladins is that they don't die. So I'm going to take an Oblation because that is going to synergize in a way with our Recycler. It's going to give me more units on my 2 troops that I have. Not that it's too much at this point. I really am not doing a build right now that is very unit heavy. Okay, what do I want to deal with? I could take a recycler and just throw it into the pit, I suppose. Or I could technically roll for a new thing. I am about to get an expansion, which means I am going to have a space for a lab rat to double up. Why not? And more treasure, which means a new concabulator. Excellent. Now, King of Blood is absolutely tearing through me, so those extra lives are going to matter quite a lot, really. Okay, they actually didn't get through my wall, which is good. Right. I don't have a great spot for a cemetery to go. I could throw an imp down, I suppose, in that corner. The bombers are apparently also better programmed to scatter. They pick random targets, apparently, through the enemy units at the start of the battle, and then they run for those targets instead of all running up together in a clump, which minimized the damage they did. Let's go ahead and take a bomber just to see what some of the differences might be. Not that I am able to pay a lot of attention. Well, we are getting absolutely mowed through because I am not getting upgrades that are really keeping up with this for the most part. Though I'm pretty sure the wall HP increasing is helping. I could upgrade an Executioner. I could reroll and hope for... yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's do that. Perfect. And now we're fighting the Jack of Rainbows, which means we could get something cool. You never know. I've got exactly no open spaces. I'm going to be getting rid of that concabulator, to be very fair. Oh, boy. Darkest HP and damage are now equal to whichever is higher. Interesting. Interesting. So that would increase the damage of the Executioners quite a bit. Or the Paladins, to be very fair. Paladins going up to like 73 damage isn't bad, but I have way more of these guys, so 40 each is 123? I kind of want to put it on the bombers. I really hope that does something. Like, we could still get mowed through. But I feel like the big number is funny. Unit explodes when killed, dealing 10% HP as area damage. Definitely want to use that on one of the close-up ones. Now, does it stack with the bombers going boom? I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't have a lot of space right now for a new building, because that's designated for cabulators. It's gonna be a while before my next expansion, so I could potentially just go ahead and grab something just to dump it. Potentially. Well, I'll go ahead and grab a vault just in case, and I'll just kind of see how it goes. Okay, so I want that. Thank you. 1 concabulator, 2 concabulator, and throw a broken one away for all of that. Do I want to throw Carnage on the bombers? I kind of do, because I really hope that synergizes. At this point, we're just kind of waiting. Yeah, the King of Nature, I'm not getting rid of them fast, but they don't really necessarily last against me all that long. I kind of want to put Poison Vial on them. I feel like the AoE means they could potentially... Wow! Okay, those ballista are nothing to sneeze at. My god. Alright. Well, dang good thing those walls are getting beefy. Speaking of walls, can I get a new one? Yeah, there we go. 9 random trash cards to your hand? Oh, that could get fun. Yep. Yep. And so this is purely to throw into this. Oh, excellent. Okay, so first of all, I am going to go ahead and upgrade the wall maker. Secondly, let's just throw some things away. Let's get so much money and so many upgrades to everything. Ha. This is hilarious. Oh man. I feel like there's gonna be so much HP now, in this group. Like, what are we sitting at for some of them? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. For some reason, they have made a thing where you can really buff things up just by throwing things away. Like, they said they were focusing more on what the pit can do, and that's great. My executioners really need more damage. I thought this was supposed to 2% damage and HP. I guess 2% of 4 is very little, but still. Huh. Probably should have just gone ahead and buffed that one's damage up. Oh well. This thing's health is ridiculous, and it's probably the only reason I've made it this far. Well, let's throw that into the pit. Way more units that way. Alright, so we really need something that buffs up the damage of that one, if at all possible. Who do we not want to deal with? Probably the King of Blood. The King of Nature has been relatively easy. Let's just not deal with the King of Blood anymore. Okay. What I want is another one of those that levels it up. Yeah, normally the wall would be pierced by those ballista in, like, the first round, the first turn, and they'd be gone. Absolutely fantastic that it's lasted this long. I don't think that I can put anything more out here. I am going to probably put down the vault when I expand. Because I'm honestly not doing a lot of damage with buildings, specifically. Oh, wait, I can put something there. I could do a second trebuchet. It's not going to be doing nearly as much, though. Let's re-roll. I could take a ballista. It's probably not going to do too much, but I'll take it. Oh, yeah. That's much better. Take an overhaul. Okay. So, I can expand on top of treasures just to get those treasures, honestly. Why not? Okay. I could throw down another recycler. And then at a point... Yeah, I'm not going to get another expansion in this run if I'm only going until the very end. So I'll just take a lab rat. That's fine. That's fine. In which case, I could just go ahead and put down the vault. Oh, the vaults now automatically level up, by the way. So you don't actually have to get multiple vaults. Though that one just leveled up because I destroyed the, I overhauled. So, oh well. I guess I instantly have the 9. Okay. What's fun? What's fun and useful? I think that I've already maxed pretty much everything. The only buildings that do damage... I only really have the trebuchet and maybe the orchard. So there's not a lot of point to having a quarry. I think I can double up a wall maker. I'm gonna find out. Yeah, I can. We now have 2 wall makers. We have 2 walls. I don't think anything is getting through. I think we've got this run in the bag. Yes, please. Alright, if I can get another balance, those executioners, their damage is going to skyrocket immediately. Reroll. Yes! Yes! 144 damage. Nothing can withstand this. Okay. So there's not a whole lot more for this. I want things that buff cards that exist. I'll take a Procreate. Okay, Futurism. All troops can now level up to level 99. That would make so much sense if we were going long term. However, right now we're only doing until the boss and then switching over to a different king. So, unfortunately, no. However, gambling is funny because I can just throw things away at that point. Da, 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 da. Okay. I swear, I get ballista and they don't do nearly as much. Enemy ballista comes against me and I'm flattened. It just carves through me. Now, speaking of carving through. Let's see. I might destroy the vault because I don't really care about having money at this point. And I'll just take 3 random tome cards. 30 gold to increase every stat by 15%. Might not be bad on these guys. It's okay. It's okay. I don't think I'm leveling very much else up at this point. So that's fine. That's fine. Alright, we've got a new overinvest, a migration. Not really something I want to use. Shields, okay, that's a HP. Huh. Yeah. I'm throwing migration away. I'm throwing overhaul away, I think. There's nothing I really want to destroy. I can throw down either a flamethrower or a defender in the blank spot that I now have. Neither one is, like, great necessarily. Flamethrower is fairly slow from what I remember. Especially that starting that far back, it doesn't come out with the other troops. Defenders are fine. I'll put a defender down. Let's overinvest again. Heckin' ballistic. Okay. Alright, this is it. So we're going to be probably throwing away a whole bunch of cards. I can level that up. Excellent. Okay. Mothership, yes. Converter, I can't do anything with that, or the quarry. So that's just going to be a whole bunch of damage and HP going up. The King of Nature is great for a final because that has not worked well against progress at all in this run. Alright, let's start another run. We have finished a Lord level on King of Progress. Got a nice little level up. Alright, yep. Scientific lab rats start with +1 level. Okay. So yes, also, multi-level mode, not multi-level, multiplayer mode now exists in this game. I have not tried it. Alright, this is going to be even harder to Duke. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about with the perks. You can have your array of perks, and you've got 3 slots. So you can go, okay, in this one I want to focus way more on summons, or I want to focus way more on sacrifice plays, or one perk just for I want to fight the rainbow, Jack of Rainbows, the whole game. And I appreciate that, because the alternative was really just reshuffling and resetting it every single time. Alright, let's go ahead and see what the new pagoda ghosts are like. Duke difficulty. I am gonna get slaughtered. But that's the point of this, isn't it? Okay, so we've got 2 demon altars starting. We've got some imps that we start with. That increases troops. I'm going to put down imps, first of all. And I'm going to up the demon altar. Ideally, I want to be able to put a cemetery right in that center part. But also, the pagoda now summons ghosts based on your troops that died. So between that and cemetery, we are double dipping potentially on anything that snuffs it. Prosperity again. I'm very bad at that. Alright, we're gonna throw a cemetery down. And, yeah. Quite frankly, we're just gonna go ahead and roll with that. Keep leveling up the pagoda. I think that the ghosts summon a little more slowly, if I'm feeling that right. I don't have very many active troops, so unfortunately no. However, I will take this. No, I want rebirth. I want rebirth. I want double the lives because I do not see this necessarily going well towards the end unless I get very lucky with the synergies. Right. Most of the units there are more about being adjacent to another unit. Gain a unit whenever just for an adjacent card gains one. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I don't have anything for, worthwhile for any of that. So, we're just gonna re-roll. How close are we to that? Reroll. You know what? Dragon's Den could be funny, especially if I am going to destroy any plots. That would be pretty good. I'll just grab a hold of... Oh, I can't actually afford anything. That's okay. Let's put bombers in that will become skeletons afterwards. Look at them race out there. They zoom. God, they move fast. Alright. Oh, I don't really want any of those. I could take a wall maker. Okay. So the thing is, the wall maker I almost want in a different spot just because the cemetery is not going to work well for me being there. Oh, but I want to put the walls down sooner than anything because the HP increases by 10% every year. So I could just take the loss of something not being able to be cemetery linked. And we'll just take that. I'm pretty sure migration only works on troop cards, so I don't think I'd be able to move the wall maker. Alright. Unfortunately, I am going to have too much gold for prosperity. Dang. No, I can reroll so much on this. Hold on. Okay, yes, that'll do it. That'll do it. So I could throw elves down right there. That would be fine. Woohoo! Prosperity, I made it! Let's get a few elves, and if they die, then we get skeletons. I think they died. We have skeletons. Look at all those skeletons coming out. I love that King of Blood, you have to kill every single unit twice, basically. Okay. All troops gain +1 unit. Okay. I'll take this as a junk card. Ooh, receive a sacrifice card. Every time you throw a card in the pit, does not work with sacrifice cards. Interesting. Hold on, can I stack Rebirth and have 9 lives? I can. It's ridiculous. I probably don't need that many. If I get to within 9 of the end and then start losing and can't get out of it, then actually it might do me. It might work. Let's see. 9 damage, 10 damage, 18 damage. There you go. So I'm not really feeling the synergy kick in of I'm doing a whole bunch and getting a roll going. At least not as of yet. Part of that might just be I haven't gotten anything crazy enough. Part of it is probably that I'm just not really using certain things that would be beneficial. Okay, let's see. I could sacrifice the elves. I did just level them up, but I could just sacrifice the elves. It'll level up the cemetery, the demon altar, and the dragon's den. And then I'll put something else there. Not the flamethrower, to be quite honest. The flamethrower is going to go in the side thing purely to be gotten rid of later and destroyed later. It's going to be over there. Oh, right. I think there's something about sacrificing and you get special skeleton units. Right. Hold on. I didn't really notice that. What's going on there? 1 second. Skeleton! Troop brought back from the dead by an adjacent cemetery. Inherits cemetery stats. Okay. So I have a separate troop set of skeletons from sacrificing the elves. Cool. Okay. Sounds good to me. Who needs more health? These guys, maybe. Though I think I could have put it onto the cemetery. That technically has stats for troops. Alright, I'm out of ghosts. Okay. So, I can level up the base plot by 3 levels. I can take a shrine, spend, destroy target plot and get 2 random rainbow cards. I was kind of planning on getting rid of the flamethrower and doing something with that. Now, the 2 random rainbow cards could be completely useless to me, but if that's the case, then I I guess I just throw them away. Let's see what this gives me. Obelisk, magic range tower. Its damage increases by 900% every time you lose a life. Oh, okay, those lives. Smite. Every time the unit takes a hit, laser deals 10% of its damage to a random enemy. These are funny. These are so heckin' funny. I'm putting that on my imps. I want my imps to have a stack of smite. These are new. I love the rainbow rays. Look at them go. Oh, I'm getting stomped a little bit by the King of Stone. Like, I made it, but wow, that did not do well. We'll level up the Wallmaker. Unfortunately, until I expand, I'm not going to have any space for any more troops. I could upgrade my imps. So I'll take that. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. King of Blood has no business having that many rainbows flashing about on screen. Alright. I could give all troops +2 units. I can add 9 to one thing. I'm gonna add a whole bunch of troops to the bombers. And then we'll see where we sit. But yeah, I really think that one of the best, like, council perks that you can get really is gambling. Because while you lose a certain amount of control, having more cards to throw each round is usually just good. Okay, receive a sacrifice card every time you throw a card in the pit. I don't know that I want to do that many more sacrifices. Yeah, there's not a lot I really want to sacrifice. I'm gonna reroll. First reroll in every encounter gives you 10 gold instead of taking it. Or I can take even more lives! We're getting close enough to the end here that I don't think I necessarily want Rebirth, even though it would be really funny. I will take a money reroll. Why not? Alright. Oblation. Let's go. I have not tried or touched the multiplayer in this. To be quite honest, I feel like I would just get absolutely stomped on if I was playing against an actual intelligent person, rather than the computer program, even on a harder difficulty mode. I would have to get very lucky with the cards that I got, and my opponent would have to be very unlucky at the same time. What do we not want to deal with? Probably King of Stone. I don't trust those ballistae as we get this high in level. Okay, let's see. I could use a new level in the bombers, actually. Yep. Okay. I purely want the treasure. I just want more stuff. I'll take another oblation. Okay. We're going to level up Pagoda. We are going to get 3 more units on everything. And then I will do Procreate another time for 9 units on one thing. Wow, I'm getting absolutely stomped all over. Okay. Right. I probably should have taken the Demon Altar upgrade for the other altar up there. Okay. I could do a second Dragon's Den, that would be funny. Now, of course, those do benefit from basically things getting destroyed, which I am not really doing here. I get a little too attached to the things that I've put down and that I've built for. Especially things that I've built up. Replicator. Melee troop that gains +9 units every year. I don't have space for you unless I destroy something. Duplicates target plot and all its stats to one empty adjacent plot. I don't have any empty adjacent plots, and I will not get any in the rest of this run. Smite. I could throw a smite on this. Let's put even more lasers. This has become a vampire dance party. This is a skeleton rave. Double the stats of all active demon altars. See, if this was earlier in this run, I might take gambling because that is really good from the start. However, right now, I have 2 different demon altars. I'll take upgrades. There we go. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot less clumping of various fighters in the battles. They're just kind of going. What do I want to upgrade? I could just take a clone, and that just lets me upgrade something. This thing does 2 damage. It's very little. I could get my Demon Altar up. I could up my walls. I could up my Dragon's Den. I kind of want to do... I almost want to use the Obelisk just to get rid of it if I get a sacrifice card or something similar, to be honest. Which means I want to clone the Dragon's Den and up that. We're doing fire and frost, guys. Well, the dragons also breathe fire, even though they come from an ice cave. Okay. I already have a pagoda that I need to use as an upgrade. I'll take swords. Okay. I could roll and see if I get either a Dragon's Den or a Demon Altar, but it's a bit, or a Wallmaker, bit of a long shot, but I've got the money. Gotcha's funny, but I do not have the time for it. I'll take a Dragon's Den. There we go. And why not? Perfect. Okay, we are pretty much at our end here. This is our last run before we get the boss. So this should be pretty quick. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get rid of that. I probably could have done some rerolls in order to grab hold of it. but oh well. Oh, King of Nature, here we go again. Let's just throw a whole bunch of ghosts in the middle of this. The champion is, yep, just gone. Just gone. So we have thrived. Got one more level up. I can now play on Prince difficulty. So. Yeah. King of Progress, King of Blood. We've seen a little bit of King of Stone. It's really just the Wallmaker getting stronger. The Trebuchet, I think, does more splash damage or something like that. Oh, the Cauldron now does 3 poison stacks per level instead of 1, which is pretty nice. Let's see. I don't think there were any major changes on Nomads that I remember. I don't remember anything being mentioned on King of Nature either. Pretty straightforward. I believe that there was a minor change. Yeah, beacons now do movement speed as well as attack speed, which is, I think, and then also the vault automatically leveling up. I think there's a visual change where the Midas Touch does a little splash animation of gold or something like that, so you can kind of see it going off. Because prior to this, it was just like, yeah, you just kind of trust and assume that the gold is ticking up, and it does eventually. But you aren't necessarily noticing it. Mercenaries are now 9 gold instead of, I think, 15 or something like that. But they've had a little bit of a nerf to their stats in response to it. I don't think there were any major changes in spells. I don't think there were major changes in nothing. Though apparently the scout towers and stuff did target, like if you were playing King of Blood and had a scout tower from fighting nothing, your arrows might target your ghosts, so there were some patch notes about fixing that. And I think that's all the major changes. So, yeah, we are basically just an hour or so in, because just fighting a single run is pretty quick. God, I have not. Prince difficulty terrifies me. I've never done well with these particularly, though the rebirth giving you bonus lives does do a lot for my sense of security. We're just gonna leave that be for right now. Oh, I've actually won difficulty Prince on some of these, but apparently I cannot do difficulty King on them. I wonder if that's a change that they made, that you have to win on a certain number of things with Prince. Because I only have 2 that I've won on. Maybe you have to do 3 or something in order to get King. It may have been a change, part of the changes that I just didn't notice. Because how many have I won with Duke? 1, 2, 3. I'll bet 3 is the lucky number, and you have to win 3 Prince difficulties on 3 different kings in order to get King difficulty now. Because it used to be you just won on one of them and you'd be able to unlock King difficulty, so I had it available and I think I ran it, but never won in the past. Okay. Not too shabby. Should we go ahead and see if we can win one thing on Prince difficulty? Just one. What's something a little bit different? Maybe greed. Maybe greed, just to put that vault and that beacon in action, just to get those mercenaries going. Let's try it on Prince. Let's see what I've got here. I've got Tycoon, mercenaries cost less gold. Start with a little bit of gold, free shop purchase. The base is more powerful. Honestly, I think Castellan is a little bit less important for that. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna shift some things around. Okay. So we'll keep those doubled. Do damage, raffle. Losing a life gives you 50 gold. Ideally, I like to win without losing any lives at all, but as you do. I can make rainbow cards more likely to appear in shops, which with my ability to shop more is probably not too bad. Can start with an extra treasure chest or two. Start with a random unlocked plot. And frankly, because it's going to go in the slot, any of these are going to be doubled. Expansionist is tempting, but so is Scavenger. So is Lucky. Okay. I get a free shop purchase. It only makes them 40% more likely to appear in shops, and unfortunately that does not mean 40% of all the shop cards you find are going to be rainbows. What it means is, depending on the probability of the rainbow card's base, the base probability, if a rainbow card has a 5% likelihood of showing up in a shop, you're getting an increase of 20 or 40% of that 5%. For example, like an easier number, 10%. Let's say you've got a 10% probability of a rainbow card showing up. If you increase the probability of that by, let's say 50% for ease, you are increasing it by another 5, technically. So rainbow cards, unless they just add it to, I guess they might not be multiplying the probability out. I don't know how they're doing their math, to be very fair. I just know that sometimes when you see, oh, you're 2 times as lucky, you're 50% as more likely to do this, it's often not adding the percentage, it's multiplying the percentage on whatever the percentage was to begin with. So I don't know how good that is, technically. It sounds like it should be, but I don't know. I am caught between Expansionist and Scavenger. I think maybe Expansionist for this run, because if I only do it so far, then I only get so many expansions. Let's give this a shot. Can I win on Prince difficulty with the King of Greed? Alright, we can put Palace way back here. Mortgage, not something I want to use. Thief. Thief is okay. Yeah, okay. When there's only 2 enemies, I can just blast them. Rewind might not be bad. Now, unfortunately, mortgage isn't something that I necessarily want to use right now. I could throw down a library and kind of mortgage that eventually. Stop giving me prosperity. This is not the time for it. Especially in the thing that gives me more. Clones the target plots cards to your hand. I'll accept that. So I need those. Which honestly could be funny if I put a library there. Because eventually I'm going to be mortgaging that. And if I wait until after that boon to mortgage it, then I've already got a clone of it. So I don't really care. I'm just going to take a rewind so that... Oh no, mortgage is... I've bungled this! I've bungled it. I really have, because I needed the mortgage. God damn it! I messed up. I really messed up. Okay. Well, the mortgaging is going to have to come around again, because I did not think that one through all the way. Dispenser early on is too valuable. Okay. I really need to start... I hope that I start getting enchantments, really, so that I can start benefiting from the fact I've got a library and an orbiter now. There we go. Okay. Did I not get the thing that I wanted to? Oh, boy. I think I just said I need to get enchantments, and then I think that I didn't get any enchantment cards, so... You know, go figure, I guess. This is why I would do very badly against a real human opponent. Because I am absolutely turning my brain off to play this. We need to put down a mercenary at some point. Perfect. Look at that. Honestly, if I can get a hold of a vault, that would also be great. So what I really need is mortgage and vault. Mortgage, vault, and an enchantment. That'll do something. Okay, so I need actually to put something down there, but I do not have... I could just put it down. Instead of an upgrade, because I frankly have no enchantments for it to duplicate. It's just gonna be there. Oh, this is so stupid. God. So bad. Alright, I got more library cards. Woohoo! God. Alright, so we've now got frost happening there. We're going to have more stuff happening there. I guess I'll throw that there, and we'll see about getting the mortgage or some other destruction card fairly soon. Yeah, they really are spreading out a little bit more. Now, that does mean that my various, like, palace or my base abilities, if they are targetable, are going to be a little bit less effective. Thinking about it. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll and see if I can get what I want. Oh, I will take a vault, I think. I wonder if that was a change because people were playing in such a way that it's like, it's not worth getting the vault upgrades necessarily. Oh, I am in trouble. Okay. Okay. We're having a little bit of trouble here. My stuff is not strong enough. What's my strongest damage number? 11, there, 3, 6. I could take Catharsis. I do not have a lot of good damage. 50% damage increase. Honestly, that would put that at about, if you round up or down makes a difference, potentially. Rounding down. That would put me about 16. There. 4, roughly. Maybe 5. and about 9. Which is a lower increase. However, this would also increase damage by another 5. God, I am not doing well for how much damage is happening. Okay. I really have to figure out some better way of going about this. Unfortunately, I'm just not getting synergies that I really need. Okay. Yeah, this is not doing well. I think that I almost need a gambling of some kind just in order to kind of keep my numbers up, keep my options up. It's really the perk that I need. I've got to put 2 more units down here, honestly. The library isn't necessarily bad, per se, but it's not helping me a lot. The Great Rebellions are kind of going fairly well. Stuff is just not leveling that fast. I don't have anything that's great with HP. I don't have anything that's great with attack damage. I am doing poorly. I don't know how much of it is that I'm Prince difficulty. There's my mortgage. Is it worth it? It's only gold. Like, gold is mercenaries, yeah, but, like, they're not that strong, I'm gonna be honest. The libraries are actually doing some kind of work for me. Yes, I know that. Okay, so they did upgrade, like, the tutorial stuff for new players as well. So that's probably part of it, because technically I haven't seen it, as the game's like, oh, you better be told. God. Alright, here's hoping I get something really good from Jack of Rainbows, assuming that I beat him. I might not. I might not, guys. Guys, I'm doing real bad. King of Greed has never really been my favorite to begin with, to be fair. But I feel like I am struggling. Yeah, I don't think... I don't think that there's anything that I really want. I do appreciate that now these special things are like, it goes to beyond your max level on the plot. It's not going to be wasted. I don't want to necessarily destroy any of the plots. I could maybe destroy a dispenser and just see what I get. Because frankly, it's not... I was gonna say it's not doing all that much. It's doing about equal to my thieves. Like slightly more. So I might do badly without it. However, that would give me 2 random rainbow cards. Those could be buffs. Those could be troops. I don't know. I think that there's no further benefits to destroying plots in this build that I have, so I'm going to reroll and see what I get. Okay. Each adjacent empty plot, which is not an option. I can just double the size, damage, and HP of 1 troop. So, 15 and 22, 37 and 6, 28 and 9. If I want to do raw damage, I need big thieves. Let's go! They are no longer sneak thieves. They are going to hold you upside down by your ankles and shake the lunch money out of your pockets. That's what we have going on right now. Alright, what nonsense actually makes sense? Something next to the thieves, probably a cauldron would not be bad. A trebuchet... is attack speed and movement speed. So that's not going to help me too much. Attack speed might make a difference, but I don't think I really want a lot in the way of structures. I'll take a cauldron. I'll slap a cauldron down next to my thieves and tell them to get to stabbing. Give all my rogues pointy, poisoned daggers. Alright, those buffs need to go. God, King of Spells is actually being a problem for me. I cannot take them out fast enough. They're just a little too powerful. So that is an issue. I think they're just not... I'm just not leveling things. I'm just not getting the increases that I really need. They're too small. Should I throw a warper in? Alright. +1 over invest card for each occupied plot in your kingdom. Not necessarily something I need. 9 free rerolls. Not something I necessarily need. Increase the damage of all your units and towers by 50%. It has not been helping. Give me something really good. All troops gain 3 stacks of Midas Touch. Not necessarily something that I need. Though it'd be funny to watch that compound. Poison effect is now applied twice. That could be funny with the cauldron, but I need something really good. I need something really, really good. Frozen, stunned, or poisoned units take 50% more damage. Maybe. I'll take that because I've got a lot of frost stacks and I've got poison happening. We're just hoping for the best at this point, and we're fighting this guy, so it's not going to happen. We're probably losing at this point. We're not going to make it. 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 Yep, there's 50 of them. I cannot kill them fast enough. We're done. Prince difficulty has defeated me. At least on King of Greed. To be fair, not my favorite. Overinvest gives 2% more to all stats. Oh, goody. Alright. I'm gonna try one more. Just one more on Prince difficulty, but something that I find a little easier to work with. Maybe King of Nothing. I feel like King of Nothing... No, I've already done Prince on that one. Okay. Frick. Alright. What do I go for on Prince difficulty? We can try Stone. I forgot to look at my perks. I don't know what perks I'm going in with, guys. It could be nothing. I'm just gonna have to hope for the best. Okay, right. That's another thing that changed. Manglers. Summoned meat trolls. Every year, sacrifices an adjacent unit per level to gain +2 damage. So, we might be going ahead and using a mangler because I don't care about the trappers. To be honest. I'll take this for the future. Because I don't see myself keeping the mangler for very long. Yeah, that thing's about to just go away. Okay. So now that the mangler has chewed through all of my little guys there, is it now empty? It is. Oh god. The mangler is just gonna... I'm gonna have no troops. I'm just gonna have no troops. I think I need walls. Caulders now affect all plots around them, including those that are diagonally adjacent. Funny. Every plot with troops now gains +1 unit every year. That might actually balance the mangler. Let's go with it. Yep. Okay. Horrible, horrible meat monsters. I think I want a wizard. A shaman is very good, especially if you can do a damage buff increase. I don't think I have anything that necessarily is going to do that, though. Okay, what I really want to do, actually, is I want to get rid of the mangler first before it gets too much of a damage buildup, because I'm going to have to reset it, because that gives me more space. I should have done that earlier, honestly. More or less right away. I have just been foolish. Okay. Do I want to buff up my walls? Do I want to get a ballista going? Ballista isn't necessarily bad, and trebuchet probably isn't too bad either. Okay. Procreate. Wild card. I cannot afford it. Okay, fine. I guess I gotta procreate. I'm gonna throw a ballista down there, and I am going to... I'm gonna get those warlocks up. Alright. Regression might not be too bad. What are my last things that I did, last cards that I played? if I throw down a wizard, I will get a procreate and possibly a ballista. However, I need to be okay with whatever I get with getting rid of other cards. I have not figured out how Amplifier works, to be honest. Gives every buff it gains to one adjacent plot. I think that you're meant to link that up to something like, not necessarily a cauldron, but like the things like beacons and things like that. I think is how that's supposed to work. I'm just not in a good setup for it. I could go regression, but then I'm not really getting a lot of leveling stuff. Yeah, I think everything is literally level 1 right now. Except for my stronghold. So there's not much point to that. Okay. I figure the more troops I have, the better, especially with conscription as a as an ability. Because at least that way, I'm gaining more troops. I'm gaining like 4 troops instead of just 2 or 3. Now I definitely need to start getting more enchantments going. To that end, let's take King of Nomads as an enemy. I think that they have technically more enchantments than King of Blood does, especially with vampirism off the table. I think that King of Blood literally only has Carnage now. I do not like the extremely slow tower, to be honest. I like to blitz things. I'll take another Orbiter. That should... that'll more than give me enough. I'm actually going to have too much. Oh well. I guess I'll get another Orbiter maybe there or something. Okay. I don't have any damaged buildings except for the Mangler. And that's already buffing itself. So basically, I want to either buff Cauldron or Wallmaker. Let's go for Wallmaker. I'm going defense. Because I'm getting another Cauldron card, so that's fine. Okay. Army is building up fairly nicely. What's my wizard level? I could do one more. What I really need, though, are enchantments to put on the wizard. I could take Distillery, I could take Catharsis, same damage as your current, strongest troops current damage. How much damage is there? There's 33, there's 7, there's 4, there's 2. So I could do that and everybody gets the wizard's 33 damage. Okay. If I destroy something with offering, then I do actually get more of these. I might slap down an orbiter here and then just destroy it. because I can potentially put something better there. No, this is better. Okay, okay. So, I am genuinely about to earthworks that and get those 2 treasures, so I am not bothered by getting either of those at the moment. I want something else. I've got that unlocked. What's something that makes sense? I'm uncertain. Honestly, I think I'm putting something down here. If I can get a library going, that would be pretty good. Boom! Okay, let's see what we've got. A ballista, not too bad. I could upgrade that. A quarry, 2% damage to all buildings every year. I don't have any buildings that do damage except for this. Ballista it is. And for the other one. And for my other trick. Well, I could take a trebuchet. I don't have a lot of constructions. I've only got like 4. That's 5 projectiles, I guess. Or I could take an earthworks for the future. Or upgrade the cauldron. I'll take an earthworks for the future, because if I can put a library there and then earthworks it and then put the library back, then I am basically losing nothing. Okay. Okay. So, Orbiter, you go right back there, and then I'm going to offering it and get all... Oh, come on! No! Really? Bugger you. So we're gonna do that. We're going to... What do we want to clone? Upgrade the ballista. That's fine. I can... If I slap something else down that I don't want, then I can overhaul and get some level ups, so that's fine. Okay. Let's clone the Mangler. It might start to outpace the conscription, just depending on how things go. Dang it. I could upgrade Warlock, I could upgrade Stronghold. Let's upgrade Warlock. And frankly, if the Mangler gets to be too much, I could just destroy it. It's fine. Alright, give me something good. Ogre! Slow, strong, tank. Every year increases stats by 5% for each adjacent empty plot, so I can keep a plot empty. All plots with the same card as target plot get 30% all stats, so that's useful if you have multiple, like, squares, plots of things. Replicator. Melee troop that gains +9 units every year. That could be really fun to put right there by the Mangler. That would be fine. Ogre! I would probably want to put, like, in the corner, but then keep those empty if I did that. I think Replicator's better. Because they gain +9, +1 for conscription. Wow. Yep. Okay. Okay. Let's get some more walls up. Ooh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, okay. I want to put something here, for sure. Is there anything else that absolutely makes a ton of sense? An orbiter next to a wizard would make sense, but I already want to put a library there if I can get one. So an orbiter, I've already got there. It doesn't make a ton of sense for that. What is something... Gains a unit whenever a different adjacent card gains one, unfortunately. No, wait. No, wait. I can put a mob in that corner. Funny as heck. I might just go ahead and put imps down next to the manglers. That would be fine. See, mob is about to get really funny. They're not strong. But oh boy, are their numbers going to go up fast. Especially next to replicators. Adrenaline isn't really worth it. Now, I could earthworks technically my wall maker and just put the walls right back down. Yeah, I'm not sure I really want any of those, thank you. I guess I could slap a raptor down. Have the imps and or replicators ride them into battle. Oh, we got a thing. Okay. I do not have quarries, so that's not going to help me. Multiculturalism, royal council with exclusive decrees from other kings. Honestly, let's go for it. Let's see what we get. Burglary, +3 stacks of Midas Touch. Technically would make my wizard stronger. Settlement, all new troops and towers placed on empty plots start with triple stats. I don't have a lot of empty slots left to put, though Raptor would then triple and then sum the stats with either of those. But yeah, I don't have a lot to put down anymore. I might take Burglary. Okay. Yeah, that went fast. Right. I'll take a rewind. And that might just give me a ton of walls, to be honest. Let's do that. Oh, I'm now just unlocking everything. Okay, so my walls are going to be a little bit weaker right now, but I have unlocked so much space. Let's see. Funnily enough, I could put a camp down and start to buff stats up. It's only 2%. It's only 2% and I only have so many years. I'm actually going to take Frost. I'm going to put it on the wizards. It's fine. King of Nomads. I don't need you. I'll keep the wizards around. So we'll do that and then we'll get the walls back up pretty soon. Though, I do realize that getting rid of the walls with earthworks this late does undo the stacking of, you know, percentage of HP up. So that is a little bit of a negative. That's a little bit of a problem, to be honest. Not the best play I could have made. So at this point, we're just kind of hoping we make it. We have absolutely not found a library this whole time. Oh boy, I get to unlock yet another space. If nothing else, the wizards are fairly powerful. Okay. My ballista is pretty much fully set. My cauldron, I could do one more. I could also do one more stack of walls. So yeah, I gave myself a ton of space. Probably didn't need to. There's the library. Just when I'm not likely to get much from it. It did something. Alright guys, what are you gonna give me? Shrine! 9 gold every year to level up one random plot. Minus 3 gold per level. I think that I will. Thank you very much. Shrine is usually pretty good, especially... You kind of want it earlier in the game, to be honest. But it dramatically cuts down on your need to spend cards on upgrades. Spend turns on upgrades. Speaking of upgrades, that's full. I could slap a warlock down, or I could save it. I'm gonna take a spire. Doubles the damage of all towers. I don't really have any. Loan gives you 9 gold multiplied by the year you're in. I don't need it right now. Let's re-roll. Barricade. Walls reflect 50% of damage taken. That's funny. Place its hand with 1 copy of each of your king's cards. I would basically just be getting rid of Spire, but gaining a copy of absolutely everything else, some of which I don't really need. I'm going to take Barricade. God damn! Enemy Ballista just cut through everything. Okay then. So I could take one more wall maker and really up my walls, so I might just do that. And I could put down a spire. Let's do that. And we'll see what this upgrades. Oh, the Mangler, okay. Okay. No reason to have an amplifier. The recycler, we're basically end game. Unless I keep going, of course. In which case, it might not be bad. What have I got here? Make warlocks and imps go fast. So 1, 2, what should I put there? I'd love to have something that buffs up damage on there, actually. However, what I'm thinking of is a blacksmith, and I might not be able to find one. Yeah, it's not looking likely. I could slap down a cemetery. Especially if stuff starts to just kill me. Beacon, recycler, wallmaker. Oh, it leveled up itself. Okay. Well, levels are going to be cheaper. Do 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 do. Concentrated fire from ballista is terrifying. Yeah, I'm gonna be tossing something. That's fine. Okay, we must play all our cards. So we're upgrading that, we're getting static on the wizard, and we're throwing this away to get more buff on those. My mob is huge, but it does so little damage because it's so shrimpy. The stats on it are terrible, to be honest. This is taking a good bit longer than some of these others we've done. Look at this stupid little meat monster just spawning in. Oh, God. I might continue playing just to see how the shrine plays out. We basically have the map unlocked. Just for a little while. I'll slap adrenaline on the wizards. Technically, it makes them stronger just having the buff, so... You know. It's something. Movement speed is fun to get racked up. Let's see. What shall I reduce the level of? Maybe the library. More chances of more buffs for the wizards. King of Spells is absolutely going through me. I noticed there's a little bit of a bug. I've got Champion of Spells still hanging out at the bottom of my screen. Alright, well, we are going to start losing now. It's been lovely, but I think that we aren't going to make it much further. Technically, we did win on Prince difficulty, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if we now have King difficulty unlocked. Whee! Oh yeah, we're done. We're done for. We're done for. We cannot keep up. We might... No, the King of Nomads is getting through us. It's getting through us. This is it! We're done! Honestly, for Prince difficulty, not too bad. I got to the end. Oh, so close to another level. Alright, yep. We can now play on King difficulty officially. Sturdy! Walls have more HP. Not too bad. What was I playing with? Increased base stats. Not too worried about that, honestly. I think that it's better to have walls in this. Okay. I think that I like the trebuchet a little bit more than the flamethrower in most cases. So. Alright. All adjacent king perks. So that should only be... Well, I guess it counts. No, yeah. It's wasted there. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Okay. Honestly, I think I am about done there. It's been about a 2-hour stream, and I don't mind leaving it a little bit short today because it's just been... I just wanted a quiet day back. So yeah, next week I think the plan is Traveler's Rest, most likely. I want to check out the story update and the new magic stuff that'll be in there. We'll play through that, however long it takes. It might be a 2-session, 3-session maybe, sort of update. The last one required about 2, so that's kind of what I'm basing it on. After that, I don't know. Probably more Mirthwood. Just whatever kind of comes up, I suppose, as we go along. A lot of my stuff has been, a lot of my games that I like and I play for stream have been getting these big updates and these big expansions and stuff. Oh, for the record, Songs of Glimmerwick. I played the demo a while back with great excitement and glee and also confusion and overthinking as I got to various bits and went, oh no, what does this mean? What does it do? And it didn't. Anyhow, that has a release date. That is going to be September 30th. I am not going to necessarily save playing it for stream, but I might play some of it on stream. I am going to be consumed by that game in the month of October. So we'll see how that goes once it gets here, but know that I am very excited. Right now, however, we've got the rest of August and pretty much the whole of September to get through, so not going to be seeing that for a little while. Let's see. So yeah, Traveler's Rest should take us through the end of August, probably, maybe even into September. And then we'll have just, like, a few weeks of Mirthwood, etc. to play through. For right now, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it, and, yeah, thanks for hanging out for a quiet game of Nine Kings, all things considered. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Bye.